Have you ever wondered why some people can forgive the most significant wrongs while others hold on to the smallest grudges? It's a thought that often crosses our minds, and the answer lies in the profound power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a concept deeply rooted in our interpersonal relationships, a cornerstone that shapes our interactions and our emotional well-being. It is not just about excusing someone's actions or forgetting the hurt they've caused. No, forgiveness goes way beyond that. It's about releasing ourselves from the shackles of resentment and bitterness, about unburdening our hearts from the heavy load of grudges that weigh us down. Imagine clutching a piece of hot coal, intending to throw it at someone, but all the while, it's you who's getting burned. That's what holding on to resentment and grudges feels like. It's a self-inflicted wound that keeps us stuck in the past, preventing us from experiencing the joy and peace of the present. It's a constant replay of the hurtful episode that disrupts our emotional equilibrium and even takes a toll on our physical health. But here's the twist. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about you. It's about your peace of mind, your emotional freedom, and your well-being. It's about reclaiming your power and taking control of your emotions. It's about choosing love over hate, peace over turmoil, and freedom over bondage. Sure, it's not easy. It takes courage to let go of the resentment, to stop playing the victim, and to stand up for your emotional health. It takes strength to say, I choose to forgive not because what happened was okay, but because I choose to stop it from hurting me anymore. And that, my friends, is the magic of forgiveness. It's an act of self-love, a declaration of self-care, and a testament to one's emotional resilience. So, the next time you find yourself holding on to a grudge, remember, it's not worth the emotional turmoil. Choose forgiveness. So we see that forgiveness is more about self-love and self-care than it is about the other person. Just as a small stone can cause ripples in a pond, so too can a small grudge disturb the peace of a relationship. Imagine a grudge as a heavy sack you're carrying on your shoulders. With each passing day, the sack becomes heavier, making it increasingly difficult for you to move forward. That's precisely what grudges do to relationships. They weigh us down, making it hard to enjoy the journey of companionship. Grudges breed resentment, and resentment is a silent relationship killer. It's like a slow-acting poison, gradually eroding the foundations of trust, respect, and love. As resentment grows, it forms an invisible barrier to communication. You may find yourself shutting down, avoiding conversations, or even worse, engaging in destructive communication patterns such as blaming, criticizing, or stonewalling. This lack of open and healthy communication can lead to misunderstandings and further conflicts, creating a vicious cycle. Moreover, resentment can also create a barrier to understanding. When you hold on to a grudge, it's like wearing a pair of tinted glasses that color your perception of the other person. You start seeing their actions through the lens of your resentment, often misinterpreting their intentions, which can lead to further misunderstandings. Furthermore, grudges can affect the intimacy in a relationship. When you harbor resentment, it creates an emotional distance between you and your partner. It's hard to feel close to someone when you're holding on to past hurts. This lack of intimacy can leave you feeling lonely, even when you're in the same room with the person you care about. So it's clear that grudges have a significant negative impact on relationships. They create barriers to communication, understanding, and intimacy, leading to a cycle of misunderstanding and conflict. But remember, while it's natural to feel hurt and wronged, holding on to these feelings does more harm than good. Grudges may seem like protective shields, but they are actually walls that isolate us from those we care about. Forgiveness may seem daunting, but it becomes easier when we break it down into manageable steps. Let's take a moment to understand these steps. The first step towards forgiveness is acknowledging the pain. When someone hurts us, it's natural to feel pain and anger. But to move towards forgiveness, it's crucial that we recognize these feelings rather than suppressing them. It's okay to admit that you're hurt. It's okay to feel upset. Acknowledging the pain does not mean you're weak. It simply means you're human. Next, express your feelings, but do so constructively. It's important to let the person who hurt you know how you feel. But remember, the goal here is not to hurt them back or to seek revenge. Instead, it's about conveying your emotions honestly and respectfully so they understand the impact of their actions. This can be a difficult step, but it's a necessary one if we're to pave the way towards forgiveness. Once you've acknowledged your pain and expressed your feelings, the next step is to make the conscious decision to forgive. This is perhaps one of the most challenging steps. Forgiving someone does not mean forgetting what they did or excusing their actions. It means choosing to let go of the resentment and the desire for vengeance. It's about deciding to free yourself from the chains of anger and bitterness. But remember, forgiveness doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience and persistence. There will be days when you'll find it hard to forgive, when the pain feels too raw, too fresh, and that's okay. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to heal at your own pace. And ultimately, remember that forgiveness is for you. It's about freeing yourself from the past and opening yourself up to the possibility of peace and happiness. It's about choosing love over hate, compassion over bitterness, and hope over despair. Remember, forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. It takes time, but the rewards are worth it. So give yourself the gift of forgiveness. Give yourself the gift of freedom, because you deserve to live a life free from pain and resentment. You deserve to move forward. After the storm comes the calm. After forgiveness comes the rebuilding. So you've taken the brave step of forgiving, of letting go of the grudges that have been holding you back. But what happens next? How do you move forward after forgiveness? Well, moving forward is like rebuilding a house after a storm. It requires patience, understanding, and most importantly, trust. Trust is the foundation of any relationship. It's the glue that binds us together. But when that trust is broken, it can be hard to rebuild. That's where forgiveness comes in. By forgiving, you're giving yourself and the other person a chance to start over. You're saying, I trust you enough to let you try again. But trust isn't enough. Just as a house needs walls to keep it standing, a relationship needs boundaries. Healthy boundaries are crucial for maintaining respect and understanding in a relationship. They help us understand our limits and ensure we don't get hurt again. Remember, boundaries aren't about controlling the other person, but about protecting ourselves. And then comes the roof of our metaphorical house, positive interactions. After a storm, it's easy to focus on the damage, but to move forward, we need to focus on the good. Spend time together doing things you both enjoy. Share laughs, create memories, and remind each other why you chose to be in this relationship in the first place. But let's not forget, moving forward isn't just about building a new house. It's also about learning from the storm. It's about understanding what went wrong, what led to the conflict, and how you can prevent it in the future. In essence, moving forward after forgiveness is a journey. It may be tough, it may be painful, but it's a journey worth taking. Because at the end of this journey, you'll find a stronger, healthier relationship. Moving forward doesn't mean forgetting the past, but rather learning from it and using it as a stepping stone towards a healthier relationship. So, we've embarked on this journey of forgiveness and letting go together. But what are the main takeaways? Let's take a moment to reflect on the path we've walked. We've seen how forgiveness, far from being a sign of weakness, is a powerful force. It's a catalyst for transformation, a tool that allows us to resolve conflicts and build stronger, more resilient relationships. We've learned that holding on to grudges and resentments can be like carrying a heavy weight, slowing us down and preventing us from reaching our full potential in our relationships and life. We've also explored the practical steps towards forgiveness. We've seen that it starts with understanding and empathy, with putting ourselves in the other person's shoes and finding compassion. We've learned that it requires courage and commitment, as well as the willingness to let go of our pride and ego. But most importantly, we've learned that forgiveness is a choice. It's a decision we make, not for the person who hurt us, but for ourselves. And then we've delved into the concept of moving forward after forgiveness. We've discovered that forgiving doesn't mean forgetting, nor does it mean allowing ourselves to be hurt again. It means accepting what happened, learning from it, and using it as a stepping stone to grow and evolve. It means freeing ourselves from the chains of the past and opening ourselves to new possibilities and experiences. In conclusion, forgiveness and letting go are not just about the past, they're about the future. They're about choosing to break free from the cycle of resentment and pain and stepping into a space of peace, understanding, and growth. They're about choosing love over hate, understanding over judgment, and growth over stagnation. Remember, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's the key to unchain yourself from the past and unlock a happier, healthier future. So let's embrace it, let's practice it, and let's allow it to guide us on our journey towards a more fulfilling life.